what's happening in Minnesota with the Somali community and what's happening now, even worse in California. But, one of the problems is that's a systemic problem, is that Medicaid and Medicare now no longer, it used to be that they paid for your medical treatment, your doctor's visit, but now they pay for the person who takes you to the doctor, and they pay for home care, and they pay for a person to come in and pay your bills, right? So there's all kinds of opportunities for fraud. And a doctor recently, Oz told me this, told Oz, he said that there was a doctor in California that he visited, and the doctor had a patient who was a heroin addict. Heroin addict was coming to see him 4 times a month for some kind of a treatment. And one day the doctor looked out the door and saw his ex-wife waiting for him in the car. And the doctor said, "Oh, are you back together with your ex-wife?" And he said, "No, I hate her guts." And he said, "But she drives me because she gets paid $600 every time she drives me."
Wow.
And he said,
that'll put you back together with your ex.
We make $3,000 a month, with her driving me this, and then I drive her to hers.
Wow.
And so there's all kinds of those opportunities for fraud. And, we found a hotel that had literally every room in it was the headquarters for a nursing group.
Where was that located?
It was in California.
God.
And, so they're all just P.O. boxes. They're not actually doing any nursing care.
Nuh-uh.
They're just collecting money. And as we now know, a lot of the money that was going into the Somali community for autism care, there were these phony autism care houses.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was ending up with al-Shabaab in Somalia. So hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars were being stolen, shipped to Somalia to fund a terrorist group. But that's happening every day. Now we have the ability to catch them.
How? How are you able to adjust that sort of thing now? Like what makes it different now?
Because first of all, under the Biden administration, I don't want to get super partisan.
Yeah.
But the Biden administration turned a blind eye to all the fraud. It was mainly going to blue states, and it was an economic generator. There's money pouring into the blue states, and they just said, we know a lot of it's stolen and illegal, but we're going to let it happen because it's coming to us. It's coming to our state. And so what we've done now is with Medicare, we control Medicare. The states control a lot of Medicaid. So it's a little harder for us to detect fraud there. We've started out with Medicare. We're using AI, and we're using AI which can detect the fraud. It can tell us whether this guy who we're paying has been convicted of fraud before, and we shouldn't be paying him again. And it will be telling us every aspect of his business that we need to know to understand whether it's fraudulent. So we're going to save just this year tens of billions of dollars in eliminating fraud in Medicaid. And they used to pay it under the Biden administration. The system was called pay and chase. So if they sent in a fraudulent invoice, even if we